Sue Hayward knows all about holidays. In fact, she used to be a landlady right here in Blackpool. But after a life-changing journey of her own, she stopped serving breakfast and started dishing up hope.
The Kenyan village of Watamu on the east coast of Africa, 4,500 miles and a world away from Blackpool. Yet for Sue and Dave Hayward, it's become more than a holiday destination. It's a place where everyone knows them, a place where they're making a difference.
How's my Jessie?
Thanks to Sue and Dave, 700 local children are now in full-time education.
Dave and I came here on holiday in the year 2000. I'd had a lot of sadness in my personal life. I'd lost my dad, I was very down. And he brought me here for a break to pick me up. And we walked past a little school, well, I couldn't call it a school, little concrete building, where children were sat on cold stone floors, counting with stones. In the year 2000, and I just couldn't believe the conditions these children were in at that time. And I knew I should do something just to try to make some sort of a difference. We went home and I couldn't get these children out of my mind. We put a bottle on the bar in our hotel in Blackpool and started collecting. And the first year we raised £600. I couldn't wait to get back. We had desks made and we got 34 of those little bottoms off those floors and at desks. So then I knew I could make a difference. Then I had the bit between my teeth. I knew I could make a difference to the lives of these children.
From that bottle on the bar, Sue set up a registered charity and sponsorship scheme in order to build 3 new schools, infants, juniors and a secondary school.
Sue has made a very big difference in the kids' life. She's given them a future to look into. They are happy. They come from very poor backgrounds, with no food, but if they come to school, they are happy getting food, and they're bright like the other kids, so they're really into education, which is the only way out of poverty.
To show how little the children have, Silas took us to the home of one of his pupils, 13-year-old Samuel Fikiri.
This is Samuel's home, small village for them. There are 15 people living here. He's taken care of by the grandmom, and both parents passed away. So every morning he comes from this home to school. Okay, this is where Samuel lives, a small house here. He lives with the elder brother. So this is the door we walk in. Okay, these are the chairs that we have, this one, and this is a small table they have. Got a little lamp here. And behind here we have a little bed that the 2 of them share, the elder brother and Samuel. And on this line, they hang their clothes. The charity bought him new uniforms. At least the grandmother washes them, and he's also a big boy. So he tries to make sure that he leaves the home clean so that he can look like the other kids in the school.
Samuel's undergone a huge change in the 3 years since he started at the school as a sponsored child.
He was like shy and he didn't have any, his sword like was black, but he's now happy, very determined and courageous. In fact, we made him the school head boy because he always comes here very early in the morning. By 6, he's always in the school, ready to learn. You find him sitting in the class, reading storybooks, doing his homework because he can't do anything at home, no light. So he always comes to school like we have light in the classes, very organized boy.
I am happy because of that education. I want to to learn so much so that I can get the work of engineer.
The school is fee-paying, and 250 of the children are sponsored through the scheme Sue set up.
We ask people to pay £200 a year into the charity, and with that money we pay the child's school fees, we buy 2 sets of uniform, a pair of shoes and a school bag, and the child has 2 meals a day at school. And we have to bear in mind that that's probably only food that child gets in a day. They don't go home to fridges full of food and television. They go home to extreme poverty and dire conditions. So the child will have lunch and come to school the next morning and have porridge for breakfast with nothing in between. So the sponsorship is important. It gives a child the chance of an education.
It's a scheme that's proving as rewarding for sponsors as it is for the children.
I wanted to sponsor a child, but I wanted to go through a smaller charity rather than one with the big organisation. So Watamu attracted me, and I wrote directly to Sue, and she replied. I started sponsoring Christopher in August 2007, but this is the first time that we've actually met. So last year I bought him a bicycle so he could come to school, and this year we bought him an Arsenal shirt so he could, because that's his favourite football team. But this is the first time that we've met.
So thank you, Sue, from Christopher and our children.
And it's better, I think, than just coming out and giving plastic pens when you come on holiday. You're doing more.
Wanting to do more is what spurred Sue on, but even she didn't think she'd get this far.
Sometimes when I stand and I look around me, I'm astounded. And I think, well, how did it all happen? Where's the time gone? It's amazing, from me, just one woman, walking past a little classroom door and seeing children sat on stones, what you can achieve.
Sue was recently named Lancashire Woman of the Year for her achievements, but she says none of it would have been possible without the love and support of her husband, Dave.
It sounds maybe a bit corny, but he has been the wind beneath my wings, because there has been down times, and he picks me up, he dusts me down, and I get back on with it then, because I know I've got his support.
And as we'll find out on next week's Inside Out, Dave and Sue have even bigger plans for the future.
I feel that I'm putting hope into the hearts of children, and it's a very special job.
And you can find out more about how Sue gets on in Kenya next week on Inside Out.